welcome back to my channel. Today I have another exciting video for you. This is part 2 of my Christmas DIY crafts. Part 1 has already been posted on my channel if you've not already seen it, and part 3 will follow shortly, so definitely keep your eyes open for that. And if you're not already subscribed, definitely subscribe. That way you'll be notified when I post it. And the same thing goes for this video like it did in the first video. If you are not a pink, gold, and white lover, that is totally okay. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but if your color schemes and your Christmas decorations are not those colors, you can totally change all of these crafts to match your specific decorations and your style and your taste and all that fun stuff. So that's what's really, really cool about these, is that they are really versatile. They're not color specific or, you know, style specific. You can change whatever you want about them and make them yours. And if you do make them yours and post them on social media, I would love it if you would hashtag crafting with Lauren. That way I can search it, stalk you guys, go like your photos, and just be so happy staring at all of your Christmas festive cheer and decorations, of course. I don't have a lot to tell you except after this video, part 3 will follow, and I'll also be doing a room tour Christmas edition. You're getting a sneak peek. Don't look. It's on my room. It's in my room on my bed. And I have been loving every second of my decorations. I have been doing these crafts since like beginning of November when I got back from my Disneyland Halloween trip, which reminds me, stay tuned for my Disneyland Christmas vlogs because those vlogs will be posted after I finish my crafting and room tour stuff. So that is something to look forward to if you watch my Disneyland vlogs. And I don't know, I'm so excited. I keep staring at all my decorations because I literally can't stop staring at them. They make me so dang happy. Yeah, not much more to tell you except if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would love it so much if you did. It always helps me out and I always appreciate it. And I want to say thank you guys again so much for being so patient with me. You guys know I've been extremely busy with filming and working my full-time job and doing videos and the festivities of the holidays and all that fun stuff. So it has been a crazy few months. I've never been this busy in my entire life, it seems. I don't know. I was pretty busy in high school, but this is like to a whole new level. This is like 3 jobs plus acting classes and all that stuff. So I'm extremely busy, but I want to say thank you guys for being oh so patient and not getting upset if I don't comment back right away or if I take a little bit longer to message you guys back. I'm sorry, but can I just say how much it truly, truly means to me to know that your guys' support is never ending regardless of what I'm going through or how busy I am. It just, it warms my heart. And you don't understand. Your guys' comments literally make my day. I'll be having a rough day, doing whatever, and then someone's comment will come into my inbox. I'm just like in tears. I can't handle it. But yes, that is all I believe I have to tell you. I know I always go off on tangents and rants, but thank you again. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you after the video. So the first Christmas DIY craft for this video, I'm going to be incorporating the little mini cake stands that I made in my Halloween DIY video. So if you've not already seen that video, I will definitely have a link down below, and that way you can see how I created these adorable little stands. But then you're just going to need wooden blocks. You can use whatever you have. I found these ones at Joann's. You're also going to need acrylic paint, some ribbon, a sponge brush, and a plate. So to begin, you're just going to paint all 4 sides of each of your little wooden blocks. You don't need to paint the bottom, just definitely paint the top and all 4 sides. And I did about 3 coats on each block, and for 3 blocks, I believe I used about 1.5 bottles of my acrylic paint. And definitely leave enough time in between each coat for it to dry properly. That way, you're true to color and you get the desired color that you originally wanted. Also, when you're painting the top of your little blocks, make sure that you kind of clean up the edges just to make sure that none of the paint dripped off the sides. I had to go in and do that just so I didn't have any like huge glops running down the sides. You just want a nice even coat, and it's a fairly easy task. I mean, there's not a lot of thinking involved, but just make sure that you have nice clean lines and that all of your paint is set evenly. You don't have, you know, splotchy paint or it dries uneven or things like that. Once you are done with all of your coats of paint, you're going to let it dry overnight. And then I found this really cool ribbon at Hobby Lobby, and I originally was just going to use pink and white ribbon, but I liked this one a lot better. And so what you're just going to do is you're going to take a strip of your ribbon and hot glue a little portion of it to the bottom of the block, and then wrap it around and hot glue the other end. And then you're going to repeat the same step crisscrossing on the other side, just to make it kind of look like a little present box. I was sort of having an issue with the ribbon not sitting straight, so if that is something that bothers you as far as being equal on both sides, definitely measure it out ahead of time and account, you know, for how large your ribbon is, and that way you can mark your lines and have it look 100% perfect. I was just trying to eyeball it just to make it not such a long process. But the next step that we're going to be doing is creating the bow that goes on top. So what I did is I took my ribbon and I measured the width of my box and I doubled it, and then I cut 4 strips of it, and then I cut one one tiny little piece. It didn't really need to be precise, just a tiny little piece for the middle. And so to begin creating our bow, we're just going to take our hot glue and add a line of hot glue to the edge of our ribbon. And then we're going to take the other end of the ribbon and just kind of hold it on the hot glue so that it adheres, and it kind of makes a little ring. This kind of is similar to that thing that we used to do in elementary school where we would make the little paper ring garlands. And so once you did that with all 4 of your rings, you're just going to take another little dot of glue and add it to the bottom middle and just kind of pinch down your bow or your ribbon to make it look like a bow. And then you're going to repeat that step on all 4 of your large rings. And then for the small one, you're just going to kind of glue it down into the shape of a square. So once that step is done, you are then going to take all 4 of your little mini bows and just sort of lay them out to create one of those, you know, iconic Christmas bows. And so I just took one and I laid it straight, and then I took another one and laid it going vertical, you know, across the other one, just like that. And, you know, we all make mistakes, so I had to take it off and redo it. And then I took one of the other ones and I set it diagonally where the top was to the right. And then the next one I took and I crisscrossed it and made the diagonal go towards the top left. And then once you're done with that, you can take your little square and glue it in the middle, so it just kind of evens it and creates a finishing touch. And then once you're done with that, you're going to add a dollop of glue to the middle of your ribbon on the box that where it crisscrosses. And then I was definitely generous with that. And then you're going to take your bow and just kind of line it up with the lines and glue it on. And there you have a fantastic fake present box. I am obsessed with these. I think they look so cute. You don't have to have the stands with them to make them look really cute, but I love it. I think it looks great. And this definitely has a lot of potential and a lot of different variations that you could do with this. You don't have to use pink and gold. You could do whatever colors you want, but I think that they just turned out really cute and definitely festive and totally fun. And I love that you can bring them out year after year and enjoy them and just have them in a little festive corner in your decorations. So this next DIY project is probably one of the easiest and probably one of my most favorite. It is very simple. You're just going to need a clear ornament ball, some ribbon, an ornament hook or a smaller piece of ribbon, some scissors, a Sharpie pen, a paper cutter, 2 sheets of 12 by 12 scrapbook cardstock paper, and a pen that writes on glass. I actually ended up adding some glitter puff paint as well. So I just took my ornament ball and wrote the year on it, which is 2015, and I set that over on the side to dry. And while it was drying, I wrote down some really neat memories that I had in 2015, and I also decided to add the dates at the end of them as well, just so I could always look back on this, and if I ever wanted to, you know, relive my year and think of all the good times I had, I could always find this little ornament and kind of peek in there and read what I did in that year and what I accomplished. So I obviously did more than 2, but I was just showing you 2 for an example. And once you're done writing your little memories, you're just going to kind of cut them out into these little strips and wind them around a pencil or a pen. Definitely something smaller than a Sharpie. That was a little large, and I decided I wanted to wrap the date inward first and then have the beginning of my sentence show on the outside of the little coil. And then I just sort of tightened them just to make them a little bit more smaller. And that was the stack of all my memories that I had from 2015. I'll probably end up adding more for sure. And then I just took my pink satin ribbon and I put a bow at the top of the ornament. And my grandma always says a bow is not complete unless you finish the edges. So you can either cut your ribbon at a slant or you can kind of fork them, which I believe I did the forking method. Yep. Where it's you just fold it inward and kind of create a little fork at the end of it. And it kind of just makes it a lot more neater and more polished. If a bow could be polished. And then once you're done with that, you can just add your ornament hook and go. Or if you don't have an ornament hook, you can take a thinner piece of ribbon, stick it through the little loop, and then kind of create a little knot at the top. And it's still just as cute. Like I said, I did go over the 2015 with glitter puff paint, and I just think it turned out really cute. I like this one a lot just because it is more sentimental. And this is also a really good gift idea. If you have a lot of memories with a best friend or a significant other, you could definitely write them down, put them in an ornament, and definitely give it to them. I think it's really neat. It's a very sentimental and heartwarming gift, and I love it. I think it's adorable, of course, but I can't wait to make them for future years and then have, you know, a bunch for 16 and 17 and future years, obviously. But yeah, I love this one. I think it turned out really cute, and I hope you guys make this because I definitely had a lot of fun looking back on my year and all the good times that I had. So this next DIY project is definitely one that has a lot more steps than the other ones, but trust me when I say the outcome is totally worth it. I am just recreating a craft that I did last Christmas, and I saw it on Pinterest and I was like, hey, I think I could do that myself since no one sells them in stores. You're just going to need a nativity scene, some primer spray paint, some pink spray paint, some white spray paint, some fake glittery snow, some acetone nail polish remover, some Mod Podge sealant spray. You're also going to need some spray adhesive, and instead of the Q-tips, you're also going to need a cheap paintbrush, and I actually found mine just laying around in my craft room. So to begin, I just took some scissors and started scraping off all of the moss from the nativity scene. I did find this nativity at Walmart, and I believe it was like $6 or $7. I know it's pretty cheap, and it's probably one of the cheapest ones on the market, but if you can find one where the people are not glued to the bottom, it'll be a lot easier of a process. So pretty much, I just took my acetone nail polish remover, poured it in a little clear ramekin bowl or a plastic bowl or something, and then I took this cheap little paintbrush and dipped it into the acetone, and then just sort of dabbed it around each figurine that is glued onto the nativity crutch. And then I just sort of took a razor blade and popped off each little figurine. This was a timely process, let me tell you, and definitely do this in a well ventilated area. You do not want to do it in a room with a door closed. You will regret it instantly. Do it next to a window, or even do it outside if you can, because the acetone is very strong. And if you can't use razor blades or things like that, or like an X-Acto blade, you could probably just use a butter knife instead. But like I said, this did take quite a while. So if you can find a nativity scene that is inexpensive and the figurines are not glued down, I would definitely say buy it because it's going to make your life a lot easier, and you can totally skip the whole acetone step whatsoever. And then you're going to continue to get the rest of the moss off after that. And then once it is all dry, I took my nativity out to my paint drop and gave it a nice coat of primer. And trust me when I say the primer is necessary. If you don't use the primer, it's really going to soak up your spray paint, and it's going to make it really, really splotchy. So definitely use primer. I use the Kills primer in a can, and it works wonders. And while that is drying, you're then going to primer your figurines as well, because if you don't do this, your paint will run off of the glass, and for some reason it doesn't like to stick to this material. So definitely use the primer. That way you have a nice even coat on each little figurine in the scene. And so while that was drying and my other one was completed, I believe I waited a couple hours, I went in with my white spray paint and gave my nativity crutch a coat of white. And you can't really see it in the video, but you can see it in person, so it's definitely necessary. I promise. And then I also spray painted the back just in case for future, if it was ever sitting in front of a reflective surface, that the back was finished as well. So I know some people like to skip the back, but it's totally okay. And then while that was drying and my figurines had dried, I went in with my pink spray paint and gave them a nice even coat of pink. And you probably will have to do about 2 coats of this, just because you think you got everything, but then when you look at them up close, there are little spots that you probably missed because they are very intricate and detailed. And trust me when I say there's going to be little spots that you missed. And then once those steps are done, I went in with my spray adhesive and I sprayed the base of the nativity crutch first, and I gave it a nice healthy coat of spray adhesive. And then once I covered all of that, I went in with my fake mica snow and I poured it all around the base first. And so definitely have another piece of like foil or wax paper off to the side so you can dump the excess snow and then save it and reuse it. And then you're going to repeat the same step for the roof and the little front of the roof right there. As you can see, it's kind of messy and your hands are going to get really gross. But like I said, it's totally worth it and it's absolutely adorable. And then I redid the front of it as well. And then once that is dried, I think I let it dry overnight, and then I went in and I did another coat just because I wanted it more snowy and more is better in this case. And again, I repeated the steps. I used the spray adhesive again, sprayed it over the first coat of snow, and then I just sort of spread out another layer just to really kind of pack it on there. And then I did the same for the roof and the front of the roof. And I had 1 bag of this mica snow, and then I think I only ended up using about a half of the bag just with both coats as well. And then, yeah, don't forget the front because you will totally be able to tell. And like I said, this is kind of messy, so if you can do it outside or in a garage or on a area that has like a paint drop, that works great. And then I went in with my Mod Podge sealant spray once I let it sit overnight and definitely set. I went in and I sealed my glitter snow down just so I didn't have any fallout and it wasn't extremely messy, and that way when I packed it away, it was all nice and intact. And then after that is dry, obviously the next step is to add your little nativity people, and it looks so so adorable. I'm obsessed with this. People might not like it, and that's totally fine. Again, like I said, this wasn't my idea. I saw it on Pinterest. I thought I could totally recreate that to match all of my decorations. And you can make them whatever color you want to match all of yours. But again, I think it's great. I think it's definitely a nice little reminder why we celebrate Christmas. And so whether you like it or not, I love it. You're not going to be able to change my mind. Everyone has their own opinions. A lot of people have their own variations of the Nativity, and I just think that this one is just so fun. And again, it's just a nice little reminder of why we celebrate Christmas. So the last DIY for this video is going to be one that is very, very fun and very time consuming. You're just going to need some Christmas lights, some tulle. I found this really fun glittery tulle at Hobby Lobby, some scissors, and a measuring tape. FYI, you're going to want a white strand with white lights, and you're not going to want 100. That will take you absolutely forever. So definitely go for like a 30 or a 50. And then as far as how much tulle you'll need, that definitely depends on how many lights you get. What I found works best is I cut them into 6-inch strips, and about 8 of them fit between each light. So if you times that, 6 inches by 8, however, whatever that is, and then take that number, times it by how many lights are on your strand, and then take the inches and convert it into yards or feet, whatever your tulle comes in. Some come in feet, some come in yards, and then that way you can know how many spools of tulle you will need. So as you can see here, I am just cutting each little strip of my tulle into 6 inches. Just cutting them into 6 inches is a kind of a timely process, but I found a really cool way where you kind of cut a little bit and then just do a backwards and forwards fold motion, and then once it kind of gets out of hand, you can trim off the excess, and then what you'll do from there is you'll just take your scissors and kind of cut each little loop that is on the sides. Obviously I flattened it just so I could really see where the creases are, and then that way it kind of creates a bunch of 6-inch strips all at one time, and then that way you're not just cutting one strip and one strip and one strip. This goes a little bit faster than the other just basic 6 inches. And if you saw what I did previously, I took my measuring tape and I just measured 6 inches on my little white piece of cardboard because I couldn't see the pink tulle with the pink tablecloth underneath. It just blended in and made me go cross-eyed. And so then from there you're going to see on each side, you'll see the sides that you cut, and then you'll see the sides that came straight on your spool. And so what you're going to want to do is take these sides that you cut and fold them inward so that you have the straight part at the top and at the bottom. And then you're just going to take it and wrap it around your light strand between each light, and you just do one simple little knot. This is what I found works best. It definitely gives a lot of volume when you do it this way. For some reason, it's just a lot fluffier and a lot more full. And like I said, I do about 8 little ties between each light strand. You can do however many you want. I just like the look of it. It just looks nice and full and just very very glamorous. And so here you can kind of spin them and twist them so they're not all sitting in the same direction. That way it just kind of creates the fullness all the way around 360 degrees around the light strand. So what I recommend for this, since it is kind of a tedious task, definitely put on a movie or have company over or be watching TV or doing something, because it does take quite a while. And to be honest, I haven't even completely finished mine because, like I said, I ran out of tulle because I did not know how much I needed, since I never really saw any measurements online on how to complete this DIY. So I kind of had to figure it out myself. And like I said, the 6-inch strips work best, and I used about 8 between each light. And I believe I have a 50 light strand. I could not find a 30 at Walmart, and I sure in the heck was not driving to Target because it was crazy that weekend. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. Again, just repeating the same step where I use the straight edges on the top and bottom just because it adds a nice even effect. And then from there, definitely kind of fluff out each little tie just to make them kind of full and more tutu-like. It is really cute. The outcome is definitely absolutely adorable, but again, it is kind of a lengthy process. And if you get the glittery tulle like I did, be prepared for a lot of glitter fallout. And so as you can see here, I'm just kind of twisting them around to make it a nice full effect. And overall, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's beautiful. I can't wait to use it in my decorations and show you how I use it. I like it again, but it is a very time-consuming task. So if you're looking for a quick DIY, this is not for you. This is definitely a long, long DIY, but it's really cute. I love it. I think it's so fun and festive, and I can't wait to pull it out each year and display it and decorate with it. You could use it on your mantle, you could use it on a shelf, you could use it really wherever you want. But I really like it, and I love the fact that you can customize it and make it whatever color you want. Like I said, I just did fun pink glittery, but you could do whatever color, and that's what's cool. It's unique, and you can definitely not buy it at a store. So that is all I have for part 2 of my Christmas DIY crafts. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely let me know if you guys post them on social media so I can go and like them. I would love to see them. Again, tag me. My Instagram name is just my full name, Lauren Nicole Gardner, and also hashtag it with Crafting with Lauren. That way I can go see your photos, like them. I'll know that you posted them. But yes, I would love to see them. I had so much fun doing all these. I cannot wait to show you the rest of my DIYs and my whole room all decorated and all that fun stuff. And the rest of the Christmas, you guys have no excited. So I have no idea. I'm so excited for Christmas. I am just like, Lauren, calm it down. It's almost the holiday. I've got a lot of stuff to do. I have barely even started shopping, but I'm so excited because this time of year is just my favorite time of year. I know I'm just like on a whole nother level right now, but I just came from work. I'm about to go to acting class. I've got a lot to do tonight. So yes, I'm about to get this edited and you guys are going to see it tomorrow because everything else said, oh, this is not cute. The rest of it is all edited. And yeah, I believe that's all I have to tell you guys. If you're not already subscribed, definitely subscribe. If you like this video, feel free to come give it a thumbs up. Can't talk. And I feel like that's all I have to tell you. I know there's something, I always remember something that I was supposed to tell you guys once I turn the camera off and I'm like walking out of my room or down the stairs or in the car going somewhere. And I'm like, shit, I forgot to tell them something. But I think that's all I have. I need to just make a checklist and like put it right here in front of the camera so I don't always forget. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are having a great holiday. I will get back into the camera frame so I'm not down here. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. I love you and I will see you later. Bye!